Let's just record. In 3, 2, 1.
Please take your seats. School is now in session.
Welcome to Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
It's time to document the journey.
Welcome back to Homeschooled Podcast, everybody. I'm Agostino, Zoida. It's great to be back. Did you guys miss me? I hope that you did. I missed you. I've been a little MIA. I get that. As I told you in the last episode that I did, that this month, the month of February, I'm only going to be doing one episode a week. Normally, Homeschool Podcast comes at you 2 days a week, but I'm only going to be doing 1 day a week temporarily because I had a lot of dates, a lot of tour dates this month, and I'm also working on another project, the Sick Comics, which I've told you guys about, of stand-up comics doing table reads of sitcoms. So it's just, hopefully I can get all of that done by the end of February. So, in March we can go right back to 2 episodes a week for Homeschool Podcast. But in the meantime, I appreciate your patience. Also being a little experimental with what do you guys want it to come out on Monday? What do you want it to come out at the end of the week, Friday? And right now we're doing it right in the middle of the week. I'm recording this on Wednesday. So, I appreciate you guys bearing with me during this month. And we're just going to do one a week. And I'm happy you guys continue to support the Homeschool Podcast. I love you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Today is only me. I have no co-host today. I have no guest today. And if you know this podcast, you know that every now and then I do an episode with no guest and just talk about a couple things that are on my mind. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. Really quick, let's see the announcements. I got Sacramento area, Rockland, California. I don't know what to tell you. There's only 6 tickets left for the Saturday late show. That's about it. The early and the 5 p.m. and the 7 p.m. Sunday are sold out. The Saturday 7 p.m. sold out. I got a 9 p.m. on Saturday. It's only got a couple tickets left. So while you still can, you should probably head on over to homeschooledpod.com. Click on tour, and you can get tickets there. Also, after that, next gig I got in the books for now anyway is March 20th. I will be in Paso Robles, California. Now, I will say that if you guys did buy tickets to the Sacramento shows, it was supposed to be indoors. That they were allowed to open, I think, as of the 13th indoors, and then they made an announcement that it wasn't going to happen. So I've had to move all of my shows outdoors, which has been kind of stressful. We had to rent tents, we had to rent heaters, and but it's going to look good and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the Laughs and Crafts comedy tour, which is comedy and beer tasting. There's food trucks and stuff, so you get some food and you sit down and you do beer tasting and you watch some live stand-up comedy. I got some great comics coming with me to open. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, besides that, everything is at homeschoolpod.com. Tickets, podcast links. Subscribe to YouTube, please. We're trying to get that going. We started late in the game with YouTube. And the best way to support the show is to pick up a t-shirt, a hoodie, a sweatshirt. I'm wearing my sweatshirt right here. The Document the Journey Homeschool Podcast logo. I also got the hoodie on. There's one on the back of it too. And but everything, guys. There's stickers. I know it's tough times. That even if you pick up a sticker or something, every little bit helps. We really appreciate it. Now, let's get into it. I want to thank everybody who came out to the shows in Phoenix, Arizona, and I cannot tell you how amazing it is to perform in front of a real crowd. Now, last year I did gigs here and there, but lately I've only done in LA, guys. There's nothing. There's no shows going on. There's a couple of underground secret shows, a couple of open mics in a tent in a 7-Eleven parking lot. So I've been on stage, but again, not really, and it was interesting because getting these dates in Phoenix, I wanted to make sure that I kind of semi-quarantined a little bit or just be a little safer because I didn't want to get sick before my gig. So, I just kind of did that on my own. But at the same time, it's I want to go out and I don't want to be rusty at the shows. So I was like kind of in between a rock and a hard place, but I went to like one of those secret shows and kind of just hung out in the back and then jumped up on stage towards the end when there was like nobody really left. And that was fine. And then besides that, that's what Thursdays are for, guys. That's why the comedy clubs do Thursday through, the weekend. Because Thursday, I got it out of my system, got all the rust out, dusted off the mic, and everything went great. So if you were at one of the Phoenix shows, I really appreciate you. I had a lot of fun. It's amazing, and I'm so appreciative to be able to perform in front of a live audience. I know you guys heard me talk about it a lot, especially in the last year. I talk about it by myself, or I have guests on, and we talk about what was going to happen with stand-up. Is it ever coming back? And when it comes back, will it ever be the same? And you know what, guys? It's slowly coming back. Some states more than others. LA still not at all, man. So we're just experiencing it all together. But Friday, Saturday were great shows. It's socially distanced, so I mean, I'll use the term the shows were packed, but not really, because you can't sell them out. I don't know, the room holds like 200 and something, and they're like 60 to 80 people that are really spread out, apart from each other, which is great. Listen, if I could, I would take a packed room. It's been over a year since I performed in a like sold out room where everybody was bunched in, and that energy is unbelievable, and I would love to get back there again. But spread out was great. It was. I'm happy to have it. It was wonderful. And after Friday, doing 2 shows, that was also first time in a long time that I did 2 shows in one night. And I remember how tired you get, because like the energy just like kind of goes through you. And it was like the first night that I was just like, man, this really hit me. This really hit me hard, But it was great. Saturday, same thing. Sunday was the Super Bowl, which like I fully expected there to be 0 people in the crowd, but I expected them to be like cancel the show. Only 2 people showed up that don't give a shit about football. But you know what, guys? We went in there. It was like as Steve and I walked up to the club, we were like, is that like a line of people waiting to get into the club? And guys, there was like a little crowd. There was a little crowd for Super Bowl. Hey, I'm so appreciative. It was fun. And they were like one of the most fun crowds to mess around with. I tried some new stories, worked in a couple new bits, and it was all great. I'm excited for Sacramento this weekend. It was a great, like, I don't want to say warm up, because that Phoenix it's like one of my favorite clubs, one of my favorite cities, and I love to do good there. But I don't want to say a warm up, but it was like, by the time I get to Sacramento, now I'm used to doing 2 shows again. You know what I mean? And now I'm used to doing longer sets, because at Sacramento I got a headline, so it was kind of like a warm up to headline. And I'm just so thankful, you guys. I'm just so thankful. But there is a couple other things I want to talk to you guys about, and I don't have any notes here or anything. Usually I make notes when I do these solo podcasts, but I'm just going to talk to you guys about a couple different things. First one is, don't let anybody put labels on your art. And I know that's difficult to do, because sometimes to market things, you got to put labels on it, and when I say labels, what I'm talking about specifically is somebody will go like, well, he's a dirty comic, or they're a clean comic, and or like, oh, he does one-liners, or he does stories. Yeah, maybe you're more known for those things, but don't let anybody put labels on anything. Whatever it is that you guys do, stand-up, acting, poetry, writing, for scripts or stories or whatever, painting. There's so many different art forms, but whatever it is that you do, you probably tend to do one style more than another. And you know what? Maybe sometimes you're creating your own kind of style, which is a combination of all of it. But don't let people put labels on it, because you shouldn't put a label on your art. It's like, I've never been a dirty comic, and I still don't consider myself to be a dirty comic, but I have a lot of bits that aren't. Now, if you come up to me and you tell me, hey, I got this gig for you, but you got to work clean, and you give me a heads up, guys, I can do that. I've been a stand-up comedian for 12 years. I can do that. Okay? But you got to tell me first, and I can prepare for it. I've also, worked with probably some of the best comics ever, like on the road, and opened for them, and I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing. Some of them have asked me to not do something or to do something, which I never really take offense to. I always take offense when somebody tries to tell a comic, or any artist really, what not to do with their art. But if people are cool about it, like if you tell me don't do this for, whatever reason, maybe it's similar to your bit or whatever. I mean, it depends on the circumstances, but I'm fine with that. And then sometimes I also have no problem when you tell me to do something, Like I don't really like emceeing. I had to go through that phase for a while. And then, but every now and then if you take an MC gig, somebody will go like, "Hey, up front, like, cuz I do material, guys. I'm not a crowd work guy. I'm a writing guy. Like I'm all about structure. I'm all about writing. So, if you MC, you got to do a little warm up first. And if, I remember one time somebody asking me like, "Hey, can you kind of like talk to the crowd a little bit, like get them riled up, and then, ask them if anybody's celebrating anything type of thing." It's like, if you ask me that, that's fine. Okay. I got no problem with that. You give me these heads up, I'll do the job for you. But I just really don't like when somebody tries to tell you how to say something or not to do it or something like that. Just don't let anybody put a label on it. Maybe sometimes I'm going to tell a story and it's going to be a dirty story. I'm not a dirty comic. I just don't like those labels. It's like this particular story, it really happened to me. I really want to tell it. I really want to talk about it. And I'm going to make it funny. Obviously, not every single story that is told on stage is exactly how it happened, because sometimes that won't be funny. You have to exaggerate a little bit. You have to make it funny. But you guys, it's like you got to just do it. Just do it. Like that's your thing. That's what I want to talk about. Just do it. And listen, if you're the type of personality that you like clean things and you don't agree with what I'm saying, well, then you're not going to come up with jokes like that. So don't worry about it. If that's not your style, it's not your style. But one day, if your style changes, people change. People grow up. People adapt. Your art changes. You're going to change as an artist as you grow. You're going to learn new things. So you might change your view on the types of comedy that you like. So that's why I say don't put labels on it. I'm this style, or I'm more like this style. You don't even know yet. There's a bit out there you haven't done yet, or a story out there you haven't done yet that might be considered a style that you're not. Have an open mind towards things. That's what an artist is. Have an open mind. You want to think outside the box? You got to know where the box is in order to think outside the box. Now you know where the box is. Now you can think outside the box. Okay? You're an artist. Don't ever red light anything. Nothing. Something comes in your head, try it. You think of something, say it. Don't red light. Something in the universe is sending this to you. You are an artist and the universe gave this to you. Now guys, half the time it's going to be shit. Sometimes more than half the time. Sometimes you might try it and it's nothing, or it's weak or something like that. You guys. But you gotta try it. You have no idea where you're going to be in the future. You have no idea the thoughts that are going to enter your mind that are going to want or make you create. So don't say I'm not this or I'm not that. And don't tell somebody don't do this or don't do that. No labels. Now I realize that is difficult, especially if you want to get on TV or something. When you want to get on TV, you go, is he this? Is he that? Is she dirty? Is he clean? TV's got to know that stuff. But you know what else, you guys? Don't take my word for it. And this doesn't mean that you're not going to get on TV or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But you know what, guys? TV's fading out. Okay? When was the last time you heard somebody say, I did a Comedy Central special? Comedy Central's almost non-existent. Now, if your dream is to one day get on The Tonight Show or something like that and do one of those 5-minute clean sets, there's guys out there that are just made for stuff like that. And if that's what you like doing, do your thing. And I'm probably, down the road, I'll probably do bits that are like, Tonight Show worthy. And, I've done them before. And I don't know what the future holds. I know the moment I'm in right now. I know what I'm interested in talking about right now. And I know the things that come to me. I just want to try them. And when I try them, if they work and I want to expand on them, I'll expand on them. And I just don't like labels. Do I have some, jokes about, sex or whatever? Yeah. Am I a dirty comic? No. Do I curse in my act? Yeah. Does that make me a dirty comic? No. It just means you're a performer. And this thing you want to deliver. And deliver it however you think is the best way to deliver it. Curse words, no curse words. Now again, somebody gives you a heads up. You want to make some money? I need you to work clean in this casino. Guys, I've done it. You can do this casino. You can't say shit. You can't say ass. You can't say, you know what I mean? I'll do it. But I have time to rewrite. I have time to go okay, well, this word can substitute that word. I can work clean. I'm a professional fucking stand-up comedian, all right? So anyway, that's just one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about. And for example, here's another example, okay? I've got this idea that popped in my head. Gosh, guys, there's so many things I want to talk to you guys about that I didn't even make notes because it's just a scramble in my brain. All week I thought, maybe it's because I normally do 2 episodes a week. So all week I've been thinking, maybe I'll talk about that in my podcast. Maybe I'll talk about that in my podcast. So it's all coming out. But, so I had this idea for something to do on stage that is completely not like anything I've ever done. Okay. And I still haven't done it yet, but I plan on doing it this coming weekend. And it involves, I hate to say it, some sort of a prop, kinda. And guys, I've never been a prop comic. I don't even really like prop comics. In the stand-up comedy world, prop comedy is kind of frowned upon. Guys like me that are hardcore stand-up or hardcore right jokes type of people, we look at guys with props and we're like, fucking prop comic. And you know what? I still kind of feel that way. I definitely have a little bit less respect for them. To be 100% honest, I just always have felt that way. When I worked at a comedy club, sometimes I would have to do the music. When the comic walks up and down off stage, you got to play music. And every now and then there'd be a comic who's got hey, I do this bit where you got to play music, and you know what I mean? And they'll come and bring me the CD and they're like, when you hear me say this word, that's the signal, hit play. And then, when that part's done, hear me say the next word, hit play on track 2. And it's all this stuff that they worked. And no disrespect to the comic, because I know the amount of work and practice and timing that you have to get down. You had to really time with the music. And honestly, I've seen some guys do some really hilarious bits with stuff like that. As a matter of fact, there's a great bit that Kevin James does from his special, from the 90s, during when he was on King of Queens, that there's this closing piece that he does in that special where he reenacts people picking out greeting cards, and it's to music. And he's a very physical guy as far as his facial expressions and stuff. So I actually have always really, really liked that. And then, there's the music comics that do stuff with guitars and stuff like that. And, they're great. Some of them are really funny, but I've talked about it on here a lot too. When I used to go into an open mic, I used to I used to like walk in and see a guy with a guitar on stage and be like, ugh, and just walk out. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's true. It's just like most of the time, it's just not very good. Okay, it's just a lot of, you know, I don't even know what it is, and I just feel like, oh God, I just want to do some stand up. I just want to get up here and talk to people. But you know what? Like right now, I'm kind of feeling bad for being so judgmental because now I have this like thing that popped into my head that I'm like, try this, and I want to try it. I've never done it before, never done anything like it before. And you know what, you guys, it's not going to be something I'm going to continue to do, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has to do with like quarantines or whatever and not being able to perform as much as I'd like. But what happened during all of this, lockdowns or whatever, the stay-at-home orders, I started watching a lot of, you'd be surprised, not stand-up comedy. I started watching a lot of live musical performances. Like, go on YouTube and you watch the live performance, and it's great in a big arena, like your favorite band. And then sometimes it's great when you find a band you really like that's like in a small, intimate room, so like 10 people and they're playing. But either way, I have found so much inspiration in that. And maybe it's because of my lack of stage time in the last year, but like something hit me where I want to just give more when I go on stage. Like they make me want to be a better performer. And when it comes to being a stand-up comic, it's like there's only so much we can do besides stand there, hold a microphone, and let our brains and our mouths show you the masterpiece that we can, the best masterpiece that we can try to come up with, okay? But beyond that, there's only so much you can do. You can try to be more active, interact with the crowd or whatever. Some comics hump a stool, and then some other comics make fun of that. Oh man, he humped a stool, it's so hacky. Yeah, it is, but some guys are just more physical than others. There's only so much you can do. So I always try to think like, what can I do? So during all this, I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but I just got this urge to kind of, every now and then I want to do something special, like especially when I'm headlining, like I think I would eventually like to bring a comic with me that knows how to play guitar, and maybe we won't do it in our stand-up, but maybe after the show, I want to do something that like the crowds are going to really leave there with their heart filled, maybe we'll have some fun with them, we'll write funny songs, or maybe we'll just, karaoke. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But this one thing did come to me. And it's sort of a performance piece, I guess. And I'm going to try it this weekend for Valentine's weekend. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I got 2 shows Saturday. I got 2 shows Sunday. I expect by the time the first show Sunday hits, I'll have it down. Hopefully it goes well in the Saturday shows too, of course. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be. And it's just kind of like this idea that's like printed in my head. That's not even like printed. It was like used with like a printer that's running out of ink, And I've got to take that and bring it to life with my interpretation. And we'll see how it goes. And again, I'm probably never going to do it again. It's probably going to be very specific to this weekend. And I may do something similar down the road if I do special events. But something in me wants to be more than a stand-up comic, which is all I've ever wanted to be. But I want to be a stand-up comic that's a stand-up comic, but more. Okay? So that's what it is, and I just want people to remember stuff. I want people to laugh their asses off at the show, but I also want them to feel some sort of nostalgia. And when they go home, they almost kind of get a little tear in their eye when they hear something, I want people to feel like this warmth when they leave the show. Like, just worth it, fun night, creative, that was clever. Never seen anything like that before. So we'll see. This is a challenging, exciting new part of my career, and that's cool. That's cool. Anything you do for 12 years, it's unbelievable that you're still doing new things and finding new challenges for yourself. No matter what you do, guys, that's unbelievable. I know if you're in something for a long time, you can really start to hate it, or don't get me wrong, there's things about my career choice that I hate, but performing is not one of them. Yeah. So I know that there's things that you guys probably hate about your job, especially you've been at it for a long time, and you always think like, did I make the right life choice and stuff like that. But if after a long time, 12 years or more, you can constantly keep going like, well, I'm going to do it better. I'm going to like do it different, but better. Whatever it is. Or if you haven't started your thing yet, it's time to start, And with that in mind, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is, we talk about this, people that have day jobs or people that have just jobs in general that they hate. I've talked about this before, that like, you always think to yourself, man, I got this job I hate, but I always want to do that, Like I always wanted to be an actor, I always wanted to be a singer. I wonder if I could have made it as a rock star, but instead I'm over here at this office or whatever type of job you hate, And we've talked about before that even your dream comes with things that you hate, okay? Like, maybe you want to be a stand-up comic, which is one of the greatest fucking things on the planet, if you love it. But maybe you hate flying. You got a fear of flying, afraid of heights. That plane's going to suck, okay? 6 hours across the country sucks, guys, okay? I'm not even afraid of flying, and it sucks. And, but there's, I don't want to do social media. I don't want to, do videos and YouTube and work all that stuff. But it's like you got to do it. There's stuff about your dream that you didn't anticipate that sucked too. Okay? But anyway, back to your job. I posted on Instagram today, so if you have a minute, go over and check that out. My mom found in her house, she's doing a little remodeling. My mom found in her house this badge that I used to have when I worked at Bloomingdale's. It's got a little B on it. It says my name, and it says sales professional. And my mom gave it to me. She was like, hey, look what I found. And I was remembering when I worked at Bloomingdale's when I was about 19 years old. And I actually got recruited to go to Bloomingdale's because my first job ever, I think it was like right when I turned 18. But by the way, which was not my first job ever. It was my first legal job ever. Okay, I was working since I was a young, like 12. I was working since I was like 11 years old, to be honest with you. Neighborhood stuff, mowing lawns, walking dogs, all that stuff. But this is like I was 18. It's like my first like official, like you needed a social security number to have this job. Okay, it was working at Guess, and I was always really good at selling. I got hired at Guess, I think, to be like a box boy. And one day I was outside helping somebody because they were shorthanded, and I ended up like selling really well. So eventually I became a salesman, and then eventually I became like the top seller in the country in Guess. Okay, so I got recruited from Bloomingdale's to go and work with with them, and part of the reason that I was so good at selling is I just really enjoy talking to people and being honest with them. And, salesmen always try to, everything looks good on you. And I was just honest with people. Like one lady would come, I walk by one lady and I'm like, I don't like this on you. And like my manager got so mad because she was trying to make the sale. It was her client. And, but you know what? That same lady was like, hey, that box boy in the back, call him out here because I trust his opinion. And then now that she has my trust, I sold her like 19 things. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You gain the trust first. So, and I just loved, I still do. I always love clothes and fashion and stuff like that. So I was like, I love doing the mannequins. I love doing the window, creating the outfits, creating the displays. And I love selling and dealing with people. So Bloomingdale's recruits me. I go over there to work, and they didn't have me doing any of that. It's like, what did you guys recruit me for? They had me, what they had me doing? They had me doing go-backs, okay? Now, if you've never worked in retail, let me tell you what go-backs are. Go-backs are when people try stuff on in the fitting room that they didn't want to buy, and they left it in the fitting room, and you have to go put it back, which is not so bad when you work in a small store, but Bloomingdale's is 3 stories and different departments. Well, this one's the Calvin Klein one. This one's the the Prada section. It's like it's all day you're just going up and down escalators putting shit away. This was my day, and I think it was maybe about a week or maybe a little bit more that I worked there, that I just walked out. I was unhappy. And, by the way, Bloomingdale's never allowed employees to leave through the front door, like go out into the mall. We had to leave from the back door for employees because there was a metal detector, because I guess the employees steal shit. Okay. So I just, like, in the middle of a shift, wearing my suit. You have to wear a suit at Bloomingdale's, which is also I hated, because I got to wear like fun clothes when I worked in the smaller stores. And wearing a suit, my little Bloomingdale's badge, which you can see on the Instagram photo. And I just was like, fuck this. And I just got out and I walked out into the mall. Didn't go through the back door where employees go. I just walked out. And you guys, nobody even noticed I was gone. Like, it took several days before somebody called and was like, hey, like, you didn't show up for work. I'm like, guys, I haven't showed up for work for like 4 days in a row. You just now noticed? So anyway, I've had a couple other retail jobs after that. I think Aldo was like my last official job. But from that Bloomingdale's week, 1 year later, I was doing stand-up comedy. Walked into an open mic, got on stage. Never looked back. And I'm glad I hadn't. And I know that I'm not a go-backs type of guy. I am a move forward type of guy. And move up. And progress. And I know that everything, even your dream, has things that you don't like. Or people that don't appreciate you. Or that will put labels on you. Literally. Sales professional means he does go-backs. So people are putting labels on you. Don't even notice when you're gone. But you can still follow your dream. And you know what? Fuck them. Because here I am. Open micer, MC, to feature, to headliner, and all else in between. Cleaning the restrooms, putting the music on in comedy clubs, whatever I can do for stage time. Cooking, taking tables, bartending. If there was a job at a comedy club, I'll do it if you put me on stage. I went through all that shit, 12 years. And here we are. And I'm still learning new things and changing my ways and changing my views on things. Which is crazy to me when I think about people that have such hard views on things. Especially with politics and all the, all the division between us right now. You don't like the guy I voted for. You don't like the guy I voted for. It's crazy that you have all these hard opinions on things. Let me tell you guys something. My parents were like the most conservative people that you will ever know in your life. And today they're like the most liberal people you ever knew in your life. People change. You're going to change. I don't understand these hard views on things. I'm a clean comic. I'm a dirty comic. Fuck these labels. Fuck them. Follow your dream. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the path. You have no idea where it's gonna take you. You have no idea how you're gonna change, but you're going to. Enjoy it. Appreciate growth. And it's time that we start spreading the love, accepting people. I get it. There's a lot of people that are really far off the edge that need help. Help people. Go out and just be nice and help people. People can't see your fucking face right now when you're out. They don't know if you're smiling. You gotta be extra nice, extra friendly. Spread that love, you guys. And don't let people put labels on you. Because at the end of the day, if you left, they wouldn't even fucking notice. Only you're going to notice. So keep going. Fuck the labels. Do your art. Be creative how you want to be. If it sucks, you're going to find out on your own. So keep going forward, everybody. It's never too late to follow your dream. And then, if you love it, no matter what happens, how bad it is, the rejection, the shit pay, if you love it, you're just going to do it. You don't do stuff you love for money. If you get money to do stuff you love, that's great, but that's different than doing stuff you love for money. So just keep going, and no matter what, always challenge yourself. Keep spreading your horizon. And that's it. Those are the things I want to talk to you guys about today. I missed you guys. Bear with me on these 1 episodes a week. I'll be around. We got fun stuff coming at you. Hopefully I'll see you in Sacramento. If not, I'll see you at the next gig. I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully this year, 2021, is going to be my year, as people say. Fuck that shit, bro. Every year has been your year. Last year was your year. Next year is your year. The only thing you got to do is at the end of the year, you got to look and see if all those great things are still in your life. You got lucky another year and appreciate them. Don't take them for granted. I'm Agostino Zoida. This is Homeschooled Podcast. Don't forget that only love can save the world. I'll see you guys in a week. Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that at all.